Man, hold up. So we're gonna watch this video titled Zion should have signed with Nike instead of Jordan Brand with Mr. Jalen Rose and David Jacoby. Now I disagree with this, but we're gonna see their reasons. And my reason why is because, Jordan is a good brand, very comfortable shoe, and a very good shoe to hoop in. And 75 million, man. I think for 7 years. So that's what, 10.7 million a year? You can't argue with that, So let's get into the video.
It's finally happened. Zion Williamson has a shoe deal. He's signed with the Jordan brand, and here is what Michael Jordan had to say about the new addition to the brand. Zion's incredible determination, character, and play are inspiring. He's an essential part of the new talent that will help lead the brand into the future. He told us he would shock the world and asked us to believe in him. We do. What do you think about Zion's decision to sign with the Jordan brand?
So, before they get into Zion's decision, let me say this. Michael Jordan's or the Jordan brand decision to sign Zion was clutch. That was a good pickup with them losing Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi Leonard actually winning the championship. I mean, they needed a young star athlete. A lot of their athletes are aging. Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, Blake Griffin. So Zion Wilson, that was a great pickup for the Jordan brand. They needed that, and I think it'll rejuvenate their brand a lot.
When all money's equal, people normally choose Nike or brand Jordan. The reason why is they've gotten a head start by having MJ as their ambassador to the point where that brand beyond just looks, talking about performance.
Yep.
I'm talking about having you
disagree with the performance. Now, I've hooped in some Nike shoes. My high school basketball team shoe was the Nike Hyper Zoom. Very, very uncomfortable shoe for me. I did not like it. My foot would slide around in it, and either my size was, too bulky or big. It wasn't big, like it was right in length, but my foot would just move around in it. And I would get either blisters on my foot or I'll mess up my toenails. I messed up my toenails a lot. No, I did not like them. Now, I like hooping in Jordan shoes. I had Team Jordan shoes that I hoop in. I never hooped in my retros. I always wore them for style. If I was a rich man, I definitely would hoop in some retros. That would be dope. But no. Nike shoes are no. Now, that's your typical Nike shoe. My brother, he hoops in LeBron James shoes. I have some players on my little league team that hoop in Kyrie's. But those are about the only two shoes that I know of by Nike that I've heard from other people that have good performance, that are good for performance, I should say. Because KD shoes and Paul George shoes are low tops, and you're asking for a bad ankle roll. Like once you roll your ankle, there's nothing there to catch it to kind of soften the blow.
Sources for technology,
of course, yeah,
and innovation. And so that now lends to them signing LeBron and all of these other top athletes that fall in line. When the money is a lot different, usually that's when here comes Adidas, here comes Puma, here comes other brands, here comes overseas brands. And so what this tells me is that the money was equal. Because let's not act like that wasn't a factor.
There were
deal.
some rumors and reports that there was more money offered other places, but those were not substantiated or confirmed.
It's 10%. It wasn't like somebody's offering,
So you like this
$15 million difference. I like.
What do you mean? 10% is 7.5 million. You know, we're not. I don't know the length of those other contracts. Obviously, Jordan had to have offered Zion some creative influence, allow him to have creative influence. Showed him maybe some designs that he liked. Probably had him test try, some shoes here and there. Probably approached him after he burst out of his shoe like a can of biscuits during that Duke game. So uh, I'm sure there was some other perks that Jordan threw in there. If other companies had actually, if Nike or anybody else had actually offered him more money. So
It because he got his money and he's going to get a chance with a high profile brand that also has Jason Tatum, Russell Westbrook. They just signed Hachimura, the kid out of Gonzaga who's going to play in Washington, D.C. Signed a couple of WNBA players.
So here's why I don't
Asia
like
Dor,
it. Here's why I
Kia
don't
Nurse.
like it. Let's look at these. See, look at these players, right?
I forgot that Jimmy Butler was Jordan. I forgot all about that. He's a good one. We're gonna see how he does in Miami. Yeah.
Not all of them are still with Jordan, but a lot of them had signature shoes. You know, not all of the shoes were popping. You see anybody in the Chris Pauls? You see anybody in the Russell Westbrooks? Carmelo Anthony had like 2 good shoes over 13 years ago about. Like, that's why I don't like this for Zion. I've seen Paul George have a popular shoe. Kevin Durant have a popular shoe. I've seen Kobe have a popular shoe. Giannis has a dope shoe out right now. Kyrie has a dope line. Multiple good shoes after good shoes. Those are all Nike athletes.
Kyrie does have a good shoe. The reason why KD and Paul George have popular shoes is because they're low top. Therefore, they can be worn casually and athletically. Not that high tops can't be, but the styles of their shoe is a little bit less bulky than a LeBron James shoe. I don't really see LeBron James shoes worn in style that much. I see it a little bit, just depending on the shoe. But, yeah.
Russell Westbrook has had a few Jordan sneakers. None of them were out there. Like CP3, he had a signature line. I never saw him out there. And I check for people's sneakers. If Zion is successful with this brand, he will be the first Jordan athlete to be successful with this brand who's not Michael Jordan.
It depends on what you consider success.
Exactly. Dude just signed a $75 million deal. And let's be real, nobody has been successful as Jordan with any shoes. The reason why dude laid the blueprint. So you're not going to be. Jordan shoes are iconic because he laid the blueprint to the shoe game. He's the reason why these athletes are able to sign these huge shoe deals. Like, let's be real. I think James Worthy, he was either with Converse or New Balance. It was him and maybe somebody else. Somebody was with New Balance. Somebody was with Converse. I can't remember who was actually with which, but I remember James Worthy contract was only $150,000 for 8 years. Like his $150,000 was paid to him over an 8-year span. When Jordan signed with Nike, he made $500,000 a year. Huge jump. Michael Jordan changed the shoe game. He actually changed the NBA contract game too. After he came back from his retirement for the Bulls, he was demanding pay. So pay some homage. Nobody's out there really wearing other retired players' shoes. Plenty of players have had signature shoes, but nobody's really wearing them. Tons of players, tons of subpar players have had signature shoes, but we don't hear about them no more.
I'm in the zeitgeist. I got my eye on everybody's feet. Yeah, you know what? You can talk about money. I'm talking about moving shoes. I'm talking about me going to games and seeing people wearing shoes. Me getting on the subway and seeing people wearing the shoes. I see people in the Paul Georges. I see people in the KDs. I see people in the Kobe's and the Kyries.
He started on the Kobe's because he's lying. He ain't seen nobody in no Kobe's. I can't remember how Kobe shoes look, but and it ain't nothing against Kobe, but nobody's out there wearing Kobe shoes. Don't nobody talk about Kobe shoes. Nor have they ever. Kobe is remembered by his rings, by 5 rings, not by his shoes. These players that he's naming aren't. The reason why is for their rings, besides Paul George. Yeah. And players' shoes grow in stock because of the rings. Not even really because of the style. Because like I said, there's been plenty of subpar player shoes with some signature shoes that I'm sure that look good that did not sell because they weren't the stars.
People in the Boogies and the Aitons and the Bagleys.
Okay, he wildin'. I'm gonna rewind it back some, but he wildin'. He ain't seen nobody in no Boogies. They're by Puma. The people he just named are by Puma, and he's no. Yeah, he gotta stop that. And Jalen Rose, let me say this, man. He just be talking sometimes. I can't take nothing he says serious. This is the same guy who, when his homeboy, his teammate, and I'm going to say out of jealousy, because Chris Webber was an MVP caliber player and Jalen Rose was not. And the moment that the Heat hit, I'm going to just say the Heat hit the fan to keep some of the profanity out, with Chris Webber, Chris Webber faced some jail time when it came to the taking money from Michigan, which ain't that big of a deal for me, and it's probably the only reason they're trying to keep him out the Hall of Fame right now, and he's well deserving of it, especially since Vlade Divac made it. But Jalen Rose kept Chris Webber's name in the news and just will not let it die down, will not let bygones be bygones until recently. He's just now really starting to let this whole Fab Five and going to apologize and doing this. Like, let that man live his life. But let me rewind it back some.
Yeah, you know what? You can talk about money. I'm talking about moving shoes. I'm talking about me going to games and seeing people wearing shoes. Me getting on the subway and seeing people wearing the shoes. I see people in the Paul Georges. I see people in the KDs. I see people in the Kobe's and the Kyries. I see
people in the Boogies and the Aitons and the Bagleys.
Okay, you're a Puma guy.
No doubt.
You're a Puma guy.
Yes,
you're a Puma guy.
So, you're making my point. You're basically saying that him signing with Brand Jordan is great for him to get his money, but you don't feel like that brand has what it takes to elevate him.
No, I don't think his shoe will be as successful with the Jumpman logo on it as it would be with the Nike swoosh on it.
That's fair.
And I've got a lot of examples to show you that. And if I'm Zion, sure, the money's great.
You don't have a lot of examples, and that's why you didn't name those examples. No, I mean the Nike swoosh is somebody else's logo too. I mean, I get what you're saying, but like I said, name me one athlete whose shoe is selling how Jordan retros sell. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing. Your shoes is going to sell based off how you perform. Steph Curry shoes were dogged. Steph Curry himself was dogged whenever he signed with Under Armour. His Under Armour shoes start selling more when he started winning MVPs, when he started winning championships. And I mean, they're substantial now. They're doing okay.
But I want people to wear my shoes. I want my shoe to be popular.
That's what Rich Paul was talking about on his fine program.
And look at LeBron. The LeBrons are great. They have the performance, they have the look. You can wear them on the court and off the court. Like, Nike has made a lot of good sneakers for high-profile athletes. I just haven't seen it happen for Jordan
So you're not
athletes.
going to look up in 30 and 40 years and still be wearing his shoes like I'm doing with Clyde Frazier and Ralph Sampson?
I'm wearing Jordan sneakers right now as I sit here. I don't think I'll be doing that with Zion's in 20 years.
You're wearing Jordans because he laid the blueprint. You'll be wearing Zion's depending on what's his legacy, right? So let me give you an example. I think Sean Kemp dropped the shoe with Reeboks, and I mean those Reeboks today, they're I would call legendary, right? Like on 2K19 and NBA Live. You have your legendary shoes. Those are legendary. Those are some hard shoes to come across. Scottie Pippen's up-tempo, those are some hard shoes to come by. These are because these guys are legends. Yeah, you'll be wearing Zion's. Jordan or not, if Zion goes out there and wins 4 championships and some stylish Jumpman shoes, trust me, you'll have them on.
You know what? And I feel like that the Jordan
And this is
Jumpman,
regardless of how he is as a player.
because the Jordan Jumpman is a subgroup. You're a subgroup of someone else's. Like if Zion's shoes are going to be successful, it's still going to have Michael Jordan's silhouette on the side of it. It's not the same with Nike.
I agree.
I really feel that that's why I don't like this. I don't like this move for Zion. I was a little disappointed when he made the announcement.
And to finish my
This dude just said disappointed. What are you disappointed about? This man just signed a $75 million contract. Like, come on now, dude. Be real with yourself. You're disappointed for what?
Same with Nike.
I agree.
I really feel that that's why I don't like this. I don't like this move for Zion. I was a little disappointed when he made the announcement.
And to finish my answer, I don't love it either.
You wish he signed with Puma.
No, for all of the reasons that you.
Of course you don't love it. Like I said, Jalen Rose, to me, overall, he's weak. He's a follower. He usually, every now and then, he buck against the system, but not so often. And that's really what this is. They want everybody to sign with Nike. And that's not how competition and competitiveness and just economics in general work. Come on now.
Said.
Yeah, like
I follow and live this as well. Of
course.
And I agree with you. It's hard for you to shine wearing somebody else's logo.
exactly.
But let me say this, right? If that's the case, like I said, Nike is somebody else's logo. Pull a LeVar Ball. Create your own shoe. You know what I'm saying? Create your own shoe. Create your own logo. Don't look to Nike to create it, because you're going to end up like Kawhi Leonard in a lawsuit over your own logo. Right? Nike issued a countersuit against Kawhi Leonard over his own logo. So I really wouldn't be worried about it unless you sign a $1 billion deal, and I'm not for sure how that's broken up in payments to LeBron. I wouldn't be sweating over it, man. But you know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what to do.